Welcome, GCSC teachers. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the new Google Sites. You may have previously used the old Google Sites to create a web page. However, the new Google Sites is vastly improved, much more intuitive, much more user-friendly, and all around will provide a better experience for you as you go about creating a website for your class. You are probably aware that we are a Google for Education school district, and as a result, we have access to all of these apps for use for ourselves and for our students. Clearly, we use things like Gmail and Drive on a daily basis, probably Calendar as well. Docs, sheets, forms, and slides are covered in professional development courses and PLC sessions. In today's mini course, I'm going to be talking about the new and improved Google Sites. You're probably aware as well that you have a web page provided by the school. That web page is provided by the school through the use of School Messenger. So everyone has an official School Messenger site. So you could choose to use your Google site that you create in one of two ways. You could do it as a standalone website for your class, and that could be shown to students through a URL or through a QR code, and you could direct students and you could house all the information and resources for your class on a standalone website. That would be one option. The other option is that you could take your official School Messenger site and you could link to your Google site that you are going to create based on this video. You could link to that through a hyperlink. So when anyone navigates the technology integration screen on the Greencastle Community School Corporation website, they're going to find a short paragraph about what it is that I do, but then they're going to see the hyperlink. That hyperlink is going to take them to my standalone website. So I do have some information here that is important, but because I find that Google Sites is much more easy to use, much more user-friendly, and I don't have to worry about making changes that possibly affect someone else's website. I just choose to navigate people into my personal site from the corporation site. So those are two options that you can have. If you are unsure of how to do this option right here, I will gladly show you how to do that. So if you build your site and you're like, ooh, I really want to link it off of my official School Messenger site, I will gladly show you how to do that. I personally think the School Messenger web creation tool is very difficult to use. It is not intuitive. When you turn, those of you that have used it know that you turn the design mode on, and then as soon as you click something, it turns off, and you're constantly have to hit that on and off toggle button. I just find that really annoying. The new Google Sites is not like that. It is fantastic, and it is easy to use. I just took a simple screenshot here to show you some of the things. Number one, it integrates seamlessly with your Google Drive. When you open Google Drive, your site will show up just like if it were a doc or a sheet or something else. You can easily drag and drop items onto your web page. You don't need to create the hassle of document containers and picture containers like they are shown on the School Messenger creation tool. You can add, delete, or change items just by a simple few clicks. The changes are always stored in your Google Drive, so if you accidentally exit out of something, they're stored there. You can change layouts and themes very quickly, and you don't have to make without making large alterations to the site in general. So if you want a new theme, you can choose that, whereas with the School Messenger site, you're more bound by some of the things the corporation has set up. Also, you can see here, you can import things from Drive, you can import entire folders, you can add YouTube videos, you can share your calendar so that parents could see that, students could see that. You can import docs, sheets, slides, anything that is in Google Drive is super easy to link onto your website. That makes it, in my opinion, much easier to build, use, maintain, and update. In today's video, I'm basically going to cover the essentials of how to get your site created. I narrowed that down to these 16 items. I'm going to show you how to create a site, how to save your site, how to name your home page, how to add more pages, how to change the theme of your web page or pages, how to insert and edit text, how to insert links, how to change images, how to adjust for readability, how to add features to a site, how to resize using the guidelines, how to insert and edit photos, insert a YouTube video, place files and folders on your site, preview your site, and publish your site. Those are the basics of what I will be covering. Probably I would say it's going to range from like 2 to 5 minutes on each topic, but you should find this information is sufficient enough to get you started and hopefully roll in on creating your own Google site. So once you have created your own and your own site within the new Google Sites, excuse me, you will find that you have a site that is easy to update. It will be easy to share information with class as well as with parents, and you can do any of these or many others as well. If you're watching to complete the mini course and obtain a Google Sites badge, be sure to follow the link down below in the description of the video to the assessment, where you will have to answer some questions and provide me with a link to your site. So here's the badge that you will receive, and that will of course be placed outside of your room once you have completed all the necessary requirements, primarily which includes watching the video and completing the assessment and uploading your final project. Okay, if you have any questions, as always, feel free to email me, contact me, reach out in any way, and I'll be happy to help you. Otherwise, I will jump in the next section and start working with creating the site. Welcome, teachers. In this first section, I'm going to show you how to create your web page using the new Google Sites. I will show you how to start that process by creating a Google site. I will show you how to name your site. I will show you how to organize your site so that you can access it later on when you would like to continue editing. And I will also show you how to do some basic editing on the home page, on the original page that is created once we create the site. So I'm going to cover those topics here in this first section. When you would like to start your web page with the new Google Sites, you can do this one of several ways. I'm going to show you all three of the ways here. The first way you could do is you could go to your Google Drive, and you could go to New in the upper left-hand corner, and then you can go to More, and then you can go to Google Sites. And if you click there, it will take you to the new Google Sites, and your page will automatically be created. So that is option one. You're in your Drive, New, More, Google Sites. I can also go to sites.google.com, and when I do that, it will take me to the classic Google Sites. And down at the bottom, I will see there's an option for the new Google Sites right here, and I would click that and it will open the new Google Sites. Several of you over the years have created a web page for your class with the classic Google Sites. As of right now, you cannot migrate that old Google site to the new Google site. However, that is in the works, and hopefully by the end of the school year, you will be able to do that. But currently, you cannot do that right now, so the best option is just going to be to copy and paste material over. Not the best solution, but it is what it is right now, unfortunately. So that's option two, sites.google.com. Type that in your browser and click on the new Google Sites and it will open. Also, I can just go to sites.google.com/new and it will show me my new websites. I notice I have the option here to revert back to the classics if I want to, but I don't want to do that because I want to explore the new options. So you see here, here's the Technology Integrators Den website that I have created. And one thing I want to point out, and also I have the new site that I just created when I started the new one in Drive. One thing I want to point out, just like with all Google files, you can organize this by hitting the three buttons right here. So you can rename, you can actually rename the site from right here. You can remove it, or you can choose to open it in a new tab. So essentially, this acts as a Google app within Google Drive, much like Sheets and Docs and Slides and all those great apps that we hopefully use all the time. So you see here, again, I can do the same thing. If I hit rename here, it gives me the name that I already have for the Greencastle Community School Corporation Technology Integration. I'm going to cancel that because I don't want to rename it. I am going to close these two because I don't need these duplicates open as well. And now I'm back here on this page that I created. So in order to name this page, I can do a couple of things. I can click right here, or I can click right here. So I am going to give this a site. I'm going to call this the new Google Sites mini course example page. Okay, and notice when I change it here, it changes it here. So I can change one of either of those two places. That is just simply the name of the site, and that is what someone would type in order to access the page, but we'll talk about that later when we get to publish it near the end of the mini course. And then, of course, this is going to be the title of your page. So this is going to be essentially your home page, and you can call that whatever you would like. Notice that you have a couple of options here. You have the header type. How would you like to make it? As a banner, which it is now, a title only, or a large banner, in which case obviously the banner is much larger. I'm going to go with a traditional banner here for my example. Notice I can also change the image by clicking Change Image. I have the option to select something from the gallery, in which Google has put a number of pictures available for me in the gallery. I can upload a picture from my personal files, from my computer, from a flash drive, from my G drive, whatever that case may be. I can upload a picture from my Google Drive, if I have a picture in my Google Drive that I would like to have uploaded, or I can search. So if I would like to search the web, I can search that as well, and it will use the search results so that it pulls only photos which are labeled for commercial reuse. So you have all of those options. I'm just going to go to the gallery. I'm going to grab a picture, choose a winter, I guess it's a beach theme here. And notice that I now have the home page selected, and I have the background chosen for the banner. And so I can continue to change those banner types. If I want to reset something, I can do that. I can go back here, select my beach theme again, and there it is. Notice in this right, it says adjusting for readability. It will automatically adjust the web page so that I have the most readable page. Let's say that I don't want that for whatever reason. I can turn that off, and it will then not adjust for readability, obviously. And so you have then perhaps the text a little bit more blurred with the background, depending on the type of text you've chosen and the type of picture you have chosen. When I select the title of my homepage, I have several options here. I have the option of title, normal text, a heading, or a subheading. Clearly, I want this to be a title because it's the title of the page. I can choose how I would like to organize the font. I'm sorry, the paragraph formatting. In this case, it's probably not going to make much difference because your title is probably just going to be a few words, but later on when you get into some text editing, you will have those options will be more important. And I could also actually link this to another page. So I could type in the web address of something here if I wanted to link to Yahoo or something like that. I don't know why I would, but I could type that address in here, or if I wanted to link it to another page, once I've created that, I can certainly link it to here as well. So you have all of those options in terms of what you would like to do with the homepage. So creating your page is that simple. You literally click a couple of options in Google Drive, or you go to the new Google Sites, or you go to the classic Google Sites and then upgrade to the new Google Sites, and you type in the title of your web page, and then you type in the name of this first page, which in this case is going to be my home page. I choose the type of header that I want. I choose the type of image that I want. I choose if I want to turn off adjust for readability. Let me choose another image just to give you an idea of that. So I'm going to choose this darker theme here. And now notice with that turned off, the black is going to blend much more into the background. In fact, it changed it to white here before I could click that. So you can turn the adjust for readability off if you want. I wouldn't recommend that. But that's literally as simple as it is to create your website. So those are the first 5 options that I am going to cover here, and in the next section I will pick up by showing you what all these options are on the right side and showing you how to add some actual content into your page. But that wraps it up for the first section. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I will see you in the next section and provide some more information there. Welcome back, teachers. In this section, I am going to show you how to use some of the basic editing features and how to begin inserting content into your web page. Of course, in the last section, I showed you how to create your web page using the new Google Sites and showed you how to do some basic editing with the top banner and the naming and organization of your site. Over on the right side, once you are still in the new Google Sites, you will see that there are the options of insert, pages, and themes. We'll cover pages and themes later on. Right now, I'm going to focus primarily on the options you have to insert content into the page that you have created. Notice that you have a text box. You can insert that, of course. Images, you can embed a URL, or you can upload a file. You can also insert things directly from Google Drive, or you can insert an entire folder from Google Drive. You can embed YouTube videos. You can embed your calendar so that others see what's on your calendar. You can embed a map. And then, of course, you can link to docs, slides, sheets, forms, and charts, because Google always does a great job of meshing and interacting between their various file types. So let's say that I want to type some content down here. The first thing I am going to do, I could, of course, click up here on the text box option, or if I double click right here, the 5 most common options for inserting material appear right there. So I could just click on text, and it's going to insert a text box. You will notice that there are more editing options with this text box than there were in the header. Here I can choose from 4 different types of heading and text size that I would like to use. And I can also bold and italicize the font and the text that I enter. I can align that as I could above, and I can also have numbered and bulleted lists. I can create a hyperlink to another site. I can delete this section altogether, or I can click the 3 dots and I can get a few more options that would be available. If I wanted to copy and paste the clear formatting may come in handy, or if I wanted to have a strike through for some reason, I could do that. Also over here, Oops, I accidentally hit the delete button there apparently, so I'll bring that text box back by creating a new one. Notice that there is the option to delete right here by clicking the trash can, or I can click on the palette right here and I have the option to change the background color. I can leave this as regular white background. I can put a slight gray emphasis on that. I can put a brighter blue emphasis on that, or I can put an image in right here by clicking the image button. And again, you have the options to upload, search on your Google Drive. You could search the internet for fair use pictures. Any of those are valid options. I'm going to leave this as a regular background for right now. And when I'm here, I can start typing. So let's say that I want to link this to the Greencastle Canvas page for whatever reason. I'm just going to type an example here. So clearly you're going to have more information than this, but just for demonstration purposes. So enter the text to direct readers to the GCSC Canvas page. So I'm going to highlight the GCSC Canvas page here, and I'm going to hit the insert link button. And now I just have to copy and paste the link. So I already have the login for Greencastle Canvas here, and I am going to paste that right there, and I'm going to hit apply. And then notice how it automatically creates a hyperlink there for me. If I wanted this to be a numbered or bulleted list, I could go back here and I could click on the number or the bullet, and it will create that for me. Let's say that I want some sort of natural divider between my picture and between my text. I can insert a text box. I can then drag and drop that text box by grabbing the little dots over here on the left side. I can choose the color palette and I can choose emphasis, but then I don't have to type anything in that text box. So I can leave it so that there's a natural divider from this grayish blue background down to my text. And then if I wanted to put an emphasis here on gray, I could do that, or I could leave it as white, of course, whatever I wanted to do. So that's the basics of how you would insert a text box and how you could also use a text box as a divider between two sections of your site. Let's say that you would like to insert an image. So I'm going to grab an image here. I'm going to search, and just because it has this Arctic theme, I'm going to just search Arctic and see what happens. And so I have the option here. Let's say I want to insert this picture of the Arctic fox. So I'm going to select that. It's going to automatically drag that picture down here. I have several editing options for the picture. I can crop that, of course, by sliding the bar in or out, depending on what I want to do with the crop. I can, if I've made changes, I can uncrop that. I can actually make the picture a link to another site. This comes in really handy. Like, let's say you wanted to have a screenshot of this canvas up here, and then you wanted that to link to the Canvas page instead of having the text. You could do that. So you would just do the same way. You would paste the link in there. I still have it, so I might as well paste it. So I'll hit apply. So this will also, if I click on it, will take me to the Greencastle Instructure site. I can delete the picture or the tile. I can hit the options here. I can replace. This is a very, very important option right here, though, on the three dots, and this is add alt text. Alt text is essentially what will happen if, what will be displayed if someone who has a visual impairment looks at the website. And there have actually been school corporations that have been sued because their websites were not open and did not have all the alt text present for those with disabilities who were viewing the website. So I strongly encourage you, any picture that you put on here, to have the alt text on here. This is one of the reasons that we did go with the School Messenger service, but as we try to transition over here to the Google sites, hopefully you will enter this alt text. So I'm just going to describe this. It's an Arctic fox with a link to Canvas. Very strange, but nonetheless, there it is. Okay, and that, if someone were there and they had the accessibility options on their iPad, then it is going to show that text instead of the picture, or read that text to them. Okay, I can move this picture around. I can choose the color palette background like I did before. But let's say I want this picture to be up here in the text box with the text that I just typed. I can simply drag it and I can drop it wherever I want. And I can also resize that. So once I click on the picture, I can make this bigger and I can bring it down here. Notice there are these guidelines when I move things around, and those guidelines show me, how big and what space the picture is going to take up. And I can, when I start to resize something, it'll also resize within the guidelines. So if I want that to be in the same box as the text, all I have to do is drag it up there. One of the limiting features, though, is that you cannot put it directly under the text. It has to be to the left or the right of the text. If you want it to be directly under the text, you would have to do it in a place it in a box underneath the text there in a separate holding space. But you can drag and drop this picture wherever you would like and resize it as you see fit. So those are the two basic things, which are entering text and which are entering pictures. And you can use the link feature and you can resize using the guidelines. Those are probably the most common places that you will start as you go about putting material into your web page that you are creating with the new Google Sites. Certainly the text box and the picture are going to be the two most common things that you are going to be using. Okay, that wraps up this section. In the next section, I will cover how to add the files and how to add options from Google Drive. But hopefully this section on text and pictures has helped you and will give you some ideas for how you would like to organize the two basic concepts and the two basic ideas that are going to be part of your site. Welcome back, teachers. In this section of the video, I'm going to tell you how to place files, how to place folders, and how to place a YouTube video into your newly created Google site. Last time we covered the text and the pictures, which are the basis of any website. This time I'm going to go a little bit deeper into placing those files and videos into your website. So over on the right side here, under the Insert option, you have the option to insert things from Google Drive, to insert a Google Drive folder, and down here you have Docs, Slides, and Sheets. So let's say that I want to insert something from Drive. I'm simply going to click here, and it's going to show me what has been most recently viewed in my Drive folder. If I want to go to my general drive, I can just go to my drive here, and I can click, and I can see all the options that are available here for me. So I'm going to go back, and I'm just going to choose one of the files that is there and that I've used recently. And that's one of my most common, not most common, my most recent newsletter. And once it is here, this button is visible, and that tells me that the people who visit my website will be able to pop this out and view that in a separate screen so they can view it full screen. And there's also the scroll bar here, so I know that they can scroll if they would like to continue to view from within my website. I can resize this. I can make it as large or as small as I want, and I can also have the option to zoom here. Should I want to do that within the viewing portion? Sorry, not within the screen right here. That was a bad statement on my part. The person who is viewing it on the website, I know they will have the option to zoom in. I spoke poorly there, my fault. Okay, so I have that file in. Let's say that I want to put a Google Doc in next to that. I'm just going to click on Docs, and I see here that I have access to my spring list of professional development courses, so I'm going to insert that. It's going to, by default, drag that down below, but if I want to put this up with the other file, I can simply move that up here just by dragging it, and then I can resize it, and I can respace these objects so that they have a spacing that looks appropriate to me and matches what I think that the website should look like. So I can space these out, drag them back, and now I have both of those documents in the same space. And if I click on this, notice that it will also give the option to pop out. Because this is a PDF, it has a few more options in terms of the zoom. I would have to open this in Google Drive in order for someone to view that. Of course, if you're going to put a file from Google Drive in here, make sure you have your share settings set to the appropriate option, whatever that may be, whether you want everyone to view it or you just want people within the corporation to be able to view it. But it's very important that you have those share settings set correctly. If I wanted to give someone access to an entire folder, so let's say I just want to give people access to this example folder, I can insert that folder, and it will then, instead of showing the folder itself, it will show all of the objects that are in that folder, and anyone who visits the website will be able to access those documents and open them. This could come in handy if you wanted to share something with students and direct them to your website. There are lots of uses for this, but be aware that any file that is in there, again, should have the proper share settings, but if you want to be really careful about how you do that, you don't want to actually put something in there that you don't want people to have access to, but you have the share settings allowing people to access that. And again, this can be changed and modified, and if I move this around, notice if I have one object, it will show me how where I can drop this so that it will be spaced equally exactly in the middle of the page. So that's an option as well. So that is how I insert a file, a PDF file, a Google Docs file, and I chose a document. You can do a sheet, you can do a slide, you can do a form, you can even do a chart. Any of those are valid options. And this is how you insert a folder. Of course, any of those options have the ability to have emphasis added to them. So if I wanted to make the folder stand out, I could do that by adding the blue background or the gray background. Another great feature of the new Google Sites is how seamlessly it integrates with YouTube. So if I click on YouTube here, I'm going to be able to insert a YouTube video, and I can search the YouTube video archive database, not archive, database there. I can also look at videos that I've uploaded on my computer. I'm going to go over here to my GCSC Technology Integration YouTube channel. I'm just going to find a video. How to turn on Notability's backup feature, a very important skill for students to have. I'm going to copy that, and I am going to paste that over here, and I'm going to search, and then it pops up, and that is in fact the video that I want. So I'm going to select that. It's going to drop it in there, and again, just like with all the other options that I've shown, you can resize this however you would like, make it whatever shape you want. It scales automatically. I can drag this, and so it's going to be evenly spaced if I want to do that, or if I want it off to the side and I wanted to put a text box in here, I could drag this text box, resize this, and I could drag this up here, and I could offer some video description, or description of the video rather. Okay, and this tells me that when students or anyone visits the website, they will be able to play and watch the video within the website, or they will also be able to pop it out and watch it full screen. So those are, that is a quick summary of how to add a file. In this case, a PDF, how to add a Google Doc or any Google Doc sort of file, sheet, slide, forms, whatever, how to add a folder from Google Drive so that you are sharing the entire contents of the folder with those who visit the website, and also how to add a YouTube video. Hopefully those will help you out as you work on developing your new site. In the next section, I'm going to cover how to add more pages, how to change the themes, and how to change your navigation. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, good luck adding new content to your website. Welcome back, teachers. In this section of the video, I'm going to talk about how to add more pages, how to change your theme, and how to change the top and side navigation. At this point, I've shown you how to create a basic homepage and how to add content to that, whether that be a picture or whether that be text or whether that be items from your Google Drive, a folder from your Google Drive, or a video from YouTube. At this point, I have a very strange looking page because I have lots of information cluttered in one spot. Chances are you are not going to want to put all of that information on one page. Chances are you are going to want subpages and perhaps subpages of subpages. So that's what I'm going to focus a lot of this video on. However, before I do that, I want to jump over to themes real quick. And right here, you have multiple themes that you can choose. And the nice thing that I like about the way themes are on the new Google Sites is that if you change the theme once, it changes it throughout the entire website. So simply changing it one time will take care of everything. So you could add multiple pages and then change your theme, but I'm going to go ahead and change the theme before we do that. So right now, I'm just on the simple theme. You can see I can choose the Aristotle theme, and within themes I can choose different colors, and I can also choose different font styles. So if I want to change the font, I can do that. So I don't have a lot of themes to choose from right now, quite honestly. However, that in a lot of ways can be very good because you don't have that many options to get bogged down with. You just have a few simple ones to choose from. I believe there's like, what, 5 or 6 here. So you can choose whatever theme you would like, whatever color style you would like within that theme, and whatever font style you would like within that theme. But that's essentially what you have to choose from at this point on the new Google Sites. But again, I like the fact that actually that there are a reduced number of options that are available for you, because it keeps focus on the actual content within the design. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. Okay, so that's how you change the theme. Now let's go to pages here, and if you click on pages, you see that the home page is right there. And if you click the 3 dots, you can rename that page. So if I didn't like the name home page, you know, if I wanted to call it Mr. Shields page or something, I could do that. It's going to then change that, and that is going to be reflected in any organization. But you probably want to keep your home page as home because that's going to make it easy to know what the landing page is. I simply click the Add Page option to add a new page, and I can give it a name. So let's say I wanted to create a page and put my assignments on there so that parents could see my assignments. I'm going to do that. It's going to take me to the assignments page. Right now, the assignments page and the home page are on equal level because they are both here. If I wanted to nest this underneath, I could drag this up here, and I can let go of it, and now this little dot appears, and so now it's going to be nested under the home page. So notice now here I have to click the down arrow in order to see assignments. If I click the gear over here, I can change between side and top navigation. So if I would rather my navigation be over here on the side, I can do that. If I would rather be on the top, I can have it over here. And let's say that I don't want that to be nested underneath of it. I can now drag it back over, and notice I can toggle between home and assignments simply by clicking on the options that are here. So they're equal level. And if I click the three dots, I can set this as a home page. I can rename the page, I can remove the page from the site, or I can hide it from navigation. So all of those are options that you could use at any point. Once you have that page created, as I showed you again, you can continue creating pages, and you can give them names, and you can nest them. So I could nest this page under assignments then. And so really you're only limited by the amount of things that you would like to put on your web page. So now I have home and I have assignments. So let's say I want to have a reading assignment. Let's say I'm going to rename this. I'm going to rename this reading assignments. And I'm going to create a new page, and I'm going to name this math assignments. And I'm going to hit done. And once it is created, I can nest this under the assignments page, and then I can reorder these as well. Within the website, I can continue to adjust these. If I want to drag them out, I can simply drop that down. If I want it to be a separate page, if I want it to be nested, I can drop it back and leave it there as well. If I bring it back out here and make it a separate page, there we go, I can then reorder that by dragging this up here. So if I wanted that to appear, say, above the assignments page, I don't know why I would, but I could drop that there. Or I can move it back down here to where it was originally and then nest it back in if needed. And you always have the option of the three dots to rename, to remove, to hide, or to set as the home page. There is a set number of pages. I don't remember how many it is. I think it's hundreds probably. But you can add as many pages in here as you would like, essentially. And remember, you can change the navigation to be either side or top navigation, depending on which you prefer. So that's how you add a new page, how you change the theme, and how you change the top and side navigation options. And once you are within a page, I guess I should add that you simply go back to insert, and you can add any material in here that you would normally add within the home page or any other site, whether it be from YouTube or Google Drive or whatever the case may be. So you add content the exact same as you would in any other way, but you add it into the page that, of course, that you want to add that into. If you have any questions about how to create a page, how to change the theme, or how to change the top and side navigation, please let me know. Otherwise, in the next section, I will talk about adding a couple of bells and whistles and then how to preview and publish your site. Welcome back, teachers. In this last section, I'm going to show you how to add one feature that I neglected to show you earlier in the video. I'm also going to show you how to preview and publish your website, and I'm also going to show you how to share it with a collaborator before you preview and publish so that you can get someone else's input if you wanted help designing your website. The first thing that I failed to show you earlier is how to insert a calendar, and I do find this to be a very useful feature. So I'm just going to click Insert, and then I'm going to click Calendar. It's going to show me all the calendars for which I am a contributor. I probably have a few more on here than you may have. Obviously, you have your personal calendar. I have my technology integrator calendar. I have the Castle calendar. I'm just going to choose my technology integrator calendar, and then I'm going to hit Insert, and that calendar will appear in the website that I have created. And I have a couple of options. If I click the gear button, I can rename the calendar, first of all, if I would like to. I can then choose how I would like to show the calendar, whether I want to show it in an agenda format, whether I want to show it in a weekly or a monthly format, if I want to show the time zone. So I'm just going to show it in this weekly format. Obviously, this is made the week before winter break here, so not a lot was on my Tech Integrator calendar, but I can show that calendar on my website. This could come in handy for any number of reasons, for scheduling conferences, for creating a calendar for assignments, any number of things you could find this useful for. So I wanted to show you how to insert a calendar. That is a great feature that I neglected to show you. I meant to show you a couple of sections ago, but I forgot to do that. So there is the insert a calendar feature. So that's kind of a little bit of a late thing that I want to circle back to. Okay, couple of things about your website. Obviously, you've created it. You have not published it. It's not visible on the internet yet. One thing you may want to do is you may want to add editors. Just like any Google Doc, you can add an editor, you can add a collaborator so that someone else can work on the website with you. You would simply type in the name of the email of the person who you wanted to add as a collaborator. And if you wanted to add a message to those people, you could type a message to them and you could send the message to them and have them contribute to your website. One of the options that is available here that I think is important is prevent editors from publishing, changing access, and adding new people. This allows the people who you share it with to make changes, but you're the one who has the ultimate say in what is published, and they cannot add new people, or they cannot change access to people who have already been given access. So that may be something you want to consider as you go about using the contributor feature. If you choose to use that, you may want to decide whether you want to prevent the editors from being able to publish the website. You may want to retain control of that for yourself. Okay, so I'm going to exit out of that because I'm not going to share with anyone, but that's just the standard share buttons that's present in all Google Docs and Google Drive associated apps that we use and allow collaboration. Okay, there are a couple of options here. Before you publish, you probably want to hit the preview button. So if you hit preview right here, it will take you to the screen. It's still not an active website, but it will show you what the website will look like, and I can click around on various screens and I can navigate. So I have the home page, and it shows me what the documents are going to look like, and then it has the drop down, and I can choose if I want to go to math assignments, although I don't think I put anything there. Sorry, that's where the calendar was. Or I could just go to assignments in general, that page. Notice down here in the lower right hand corner there's the option. It's currently on a computer because that's where I am. If I wanted to see how it would look on a tablet, I can click the tablet button, and it will show me how the website will be condensed and what it will look like in the event that it's on a tablet. And you can also do the phone version, and you can see what it will look like on a phone. Obviously, it's going to be much different on a phone than it would be on the computer. And you are also going to have to work with the navigation a little bit on the phone version. I'm sorry, it's going to by default choose the side navigation, even if you have chosen the drop down from the top. Okay, once you have previewed everything and you are ready, then you hit the blue publish button, and that will make your website live. You will need to give it an address. So in this case, it's automatically going to be sites.google.com, sorry, sites.google.com/greencastle.k12.in.us. Sorry for the confusion. Sites.google.com/greencastle.k12.in.us. And I'm just going to call this the mini course page. And that's going to be the address. And I can make it visible to anyone at Greencastle. I can make it visible to anyone on the web. I can allow it to appear in search results. So that would allow someone to Google and be able to find your site. And I'm just going to make it available to anyone at Greencastle. I'm going to hit publish. And once I hit publish, it is then going to give me the option to view my website. And now my website is live, and I can copy and paste this address, and I can put it in my email signature. I can send it to parents. I can make a QR code out of it and direct students there. I can do any number of things. When I go to my own page, I will have the option of this pencil right here. And if I click the pencil, it's going to open the edit feature. And then it is going to provide me with the original editing tools that I talked about earlier in the video. So that is essentially how you publish the website. You can preview it, then you hit publish, and there are publishing options. If you want to unpublish at any point, you just hit the unpublish button. I got there by hitting the drop down next to publish and then going to unpublish. And that will then take your site off of the internet, so it will no longer be visible. I think Google Sites is a great tool, and I think it's very useful for teachers in the classroom. Hopefully you will find that to be true as well. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I will be happy to help you out. If you are taking this course in order to earn certification, don't forget to click on the link in the description of this video and proceed with answering the questions for the quiz, as well as completing the required assignment in order to earn your professional development badge. But hopefully this was useful for you, and you found the information to be worthy of your time, and that you will hopefully be able to create an active and vibrant website based on what you have learned. Thanks so much. Have a great day.